This is the Classic Auto Mall Show. Broadcast from the studios inside the Classic Auto Mall in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Just 1 hour west of Philadelphia at Pennsylvania Turnpike exit 298. Featuring nearly 1,000 classic, vintage, and barn-find vehicles for sale under one climate-controlled roof. Now, here's your host, Classic Auto Mall president and the man with all the toys, Stewart Howden.
And here we are, show number 228. And, of course, we are buried in snow.
Love it.
The piles in our parking lot they're not gonna melt till July.
I want to make a little fort in them, like what you said.
Like a little tunnel.
That's right.
I have not been plowed out at home yet.
Okay, we've heard enough of that this morning.
Wow, I know.
Glad you made it.
Glad you made it in. So it's too bad that our inventory doesn't have a Porsche reference today, considering our guest. But anyway, I'll let Steve go first this week. How many cars in inventory, Steve, right this moment?
I'm going to guess a Porsche number anyway.
Oh.
968.
All right.
I'm going to play your game. 969.
How about 950? Neither one of you win. You both went over. So.
I almost did 928.
Yeah. Well, we went down in inventory a little bit because of the snow and sales because of the snow a little bit. We got, 11 or 12 inches of snow here. Yeah. So most we've had in a number of years. And now it's not supposed to get above 28 for the next 80 years or something like that.
Do you long for Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, Southern California a couple of weeks ago where I was.
Yeah,
I'll take that back no matter what. So anyway, let's get to our guest. Joining us this morning from I imagine from Southern California, Mr. Alwin Springer. And Alwin is a Porsche guru, consultant now, semi-retired. Also the godfather and the OG, I've heard them refer to you as. Good morning, Alwin.
Yeah, good morning, Stuart. It's very, very nice to hear you guys speaking. And I feel sorry for you about the snow because I was in Miami and we just were really, really lucky to come home on Monday. And we went over Chicago, but Chicago was okay, it was fine. So we just scraped it on the sideline, but made it home nice. But, that's one of the reasons when I heard you speaking about the snow and the cold. I was in Toronto, that in the beginning of my American or North American journey. And after 2 winter times, I had enough.
Yeah,
I said, that's it. That's it. Life is too short. It's a long time. That's a long time ago.
Well, and then
I'm glad that I'm here.
Yeah, you went to Southern California, and you were born in Germany, though, right?
I'm born in Germany. Yeah. Yes, in Essen.
In Essen. Oh, okay.
We had the Jochen Rindt show, and but it's in a heavy industrial town.
Sure.
At the time, not now anymore.
Not now anymore. And
coal mines are gone.
The coal mines are gone. Did you drive the Autobahn much? Do you get back there often?
Yeah, it used to be 2-3 times a year, but now it's 1 time a year. It's usually around November, December that I go home.
Right. And like I said, 60 years in motorsports. Can you believe that you've been doing this that long?
Not really, because I tell you, it just started, when I came to Canada, because in Germany I had nothing to do with racing.
Right.
Absolute zero. But, in racing, and I don't know if you guys have experienced, but it is every day there is something new, so the time flies by. You have a job, you have an order, it's always busy. And so for me, the years, I don't want to say they have flown by, but at the same time, it was never boring.
Right.
Never,
well, exciting.
I never had that feeling.
Exciting. Yeah, exciting.
Exactly.
I mean, that's my day. Every day I walk into 1,000 cars in a building. I mean, if you don't like that, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah, maybe when I'm back next year or 2 years from now, I'll call you up and I want to see that.
I absolutely.
That's a lot.
Love to give you the nickel tour. I read that you. I don't know if it was your quote or somebody quoted about you. Said you were an engineer by trade and a manager by necessity.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, my background is. In Germany, we have a journeymanship apprenticeship. So you have to go 3 years, learn, and then you have to make a practical exam and, of course, theoretically. And then after 3 or 3.5 years, you can make an exam. And then you are an auto electrician or an auto mechanic or an electrician or, like a plumber or what. But I found that system very, very rewarding. because you have the basic knowledge when you start out into the business world. And I was lucky enough that I learned 2 trades. And, like that would set the basis for my later life.
Sure. And you went to Toronto, and that was kind of the stepping stone to come to Southern California eventually, right?
Yeah, that is correct. I see when I had my second apprenticeship was auto mechanic, and I wanted to become an engineer, but for engineer, we didn't have money, or I didn't have the money to do that. So I decided a master degree at the time would be perfect, and we had that option. But I had to be 4 years as an apprentice, as a journeyman. And that's when I said, you know what, I go to Canada, or not to Canada, I go to the United States, because I was always fascinated with the United States, and I just want to see the country, read about it a lot. And then the Vietnam War started in 65. Although in 65, you could smell it, it was coming.
Sure.
And that's when I decided, no, that's not the right thing.
Sure.
So because my dad is missing in the World War, and I'm the only son, so I didn't have to go to the army in Germany. And I said, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And then somebody came from Toronto, and he said, listen, guys like you want to come to Toronto. It's very close to the United States. And that's how it went. I actually accidentally went to Toronto.
Well,
I never immigrated. I just wanted to stay there for a couple of years and then come back again. So that was my plan.
Yeah,
my original plan
didn't work out.
Things changed.
And you went in California. You went to work with Vasek Polak, right? I mean, how did that happen? How in the world did that happen?
Okay, let's go. So, first of all, how much time do we have?
We got all the time you want there, Alwin.
Oh, okay, because it keeps going and going and going, and then So how did that happen? I was already involved, and in 66, 2 things happened. I arrived in October of 65 in Toronto. So in January 66, first of all, I met my future wife. That went very fast.
Sure.
And then I worked for Volkswagen Canada, and a guy there had an IS Spider.
Oh.
A 550.
Yeah.
At that time, but at that time, the cars were not like today. Everybody goes, whoa. But the car was a normal race car.
Right.
And he raced it on the weekend and asked me if I can help him. So that's how I got involved in racing.
Right.
So, and then me, for myself, I said, okay, perfect occupation. Opportunity. Because I see Canada, the United States. He told me that we go to Watkins Glen and then end. And so I said, it's exactly what I wanted to do, see the country, and at the same time, interesting occupation.
Sure.
So that's how I got involved in racing. And then in 69, like I said, I just had enough from the winter time. And but my wife, told me she doesn't want to go to Germany. So there was we were not married, my future wife, right. Yolande, that's her name. And it just worked on very, very hard on me because I was torn in between her and at the same time the winter time, what I didn't like. So what am I going to do? And then I went with a 906 from Canada to Daytona, and we raced there. And then people from California came and said, well, listen, what do you mean you want to go to Germany? People like you, we need there.
Right.
We need here. And I came home. I told Yolande, I said, listen, I'm going to leave for California. She said, when? I said, as soon as possible. So it took me about a week, just, told to quit. At that time, it was very easy. Got my Volkswagen and Beetle and put my toolbox in, put my suitcase in it. I know exactly $870, and off we went to California.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of 1969.
And didn't they end up sending you back to Germany for 4 months to do some apprenticeship over at Porsche?
Yeah. That was in 1970, because Mr. Polak at that time, decided that we should go Can-Am racing.
Right.
And he sent me to Germany. I went to Zuffenhausen at that time. There was no Weissach.
Right.
And I learned physically for 4 months, 917, and the engine, transmission, chassis, everything else. And actually, that laid the foundation for my connections in Germany with Porsche.
Right.
Because all the guys I met at that time who were mechanics, who were engineers, but they all moved up in the company over the years.
Right.
And you always see them, you always connect them. And I never really lost connection because, I learned from them a lot. So it was a very nice, or it's still a very, very nice base of friends.
Was the 917 a difficult car to work on, or was it fairly simple?
For me, don't forget, like a mechanic, and then you tell them, okay, now here's a 12-cylinder, overhaul it. It was mind-boggling, but at the same token, it was not a difficult engine, but it was a lot of bolts, nuts, and stuff. It was a big engine. If you ever saw a 917 engine in reality, then you know what I'm talking about.
Right, it's a large.
So was the car difficult to work? No, but don't forget, I didn't really have that much racing experience.
Right.
But I figured it too, and then I came back and fixed the old Ziffert car.
Right.
Polak had bought it. And then we went Can-Am racing in 71 with Milt Minter.
Oh.
And Milt Minter was a natural talent, I tell you that. He was here from California.
Right.
And it didn't matter what car it was. He just drove as fast as you can think it was moved. And that it was a pleasure. It was just the two of us in going with the Can-Am. So we had a flatbed where the race car was driving. I was driving it. Milt drove the camper. And on the camper, we had bodywork and tires. And so there was the two of us, and we really did the whole Can-Am. And Mr. Polak would come on the weekends, like Friday, would help us a little bit over the weekend, and would leave again.
Wow.
But it was super years. And I think in the second year, or the first year, we finished in third place or second place. It was very, at that time, for me, very rewarding. And in 1972, the Penske team came to Can-Am with the 917, and then later on 917 Turbo. And of course, they were on a different planet.
Right.
But I have to say, the team and Roger and Mark were very, very friendly. They did not say, what do you want? Or what?
Right.
On the contrary, if they could help me, they would do it. And that, again, laid the foundation for the relationship with Penske Racing.
Sure. And you've been involved with Porsche and Penske for a long, long time. You're involved with the new program now, right? The 963.
The 963, what I did, the main manager from the race team, not the race team, from Porsche Racing in Weissach, came to me and he said, he did LMP1, and he said, okay, look, can you help me? Because the United States, I was everywhere in the world with Formula One, BMW, but United States and the people, so come on, help me a little bit, support me.
Sure.
And that's what I did.
Sure.
And that's what I did for the last 3 years.
And can you believe that 3 in a row they won it? Impossible to you, or does that make sense because of how good they are?
No. I tell you, just really, really, honestly, the Penske organization and the Penske team, especially the one right now in the sports car racing, and that's Jonathan Deweygood, and Trevor Davis, they built a team around them where things, that BS is not asked for, performance is, and it is delivered. So it is definitely a team effort. And on top of it, you have to give the thing. Roger Penske is there at most of the races.
Right.
And that's a sign that he's very much interested. And of course, it gives also a little bit a kick, for everybody who's working there.
Oh, sure.
But credit and kudos for the 3 wins to the drivers. I mean, when I say team, because you cannot just pick one guy. One guy is irrelevant.
Right.
It is the team always what wins, and that is everybody. That's from the tire cleaner over of course, the drivers. The drivers always get the highlight, and yes, for a moment they deserve it. But the rest of the team, without them, the best driver is not good enough.
Sure.
So it's a combination, and that is for me very important, because I don't know if you had a chance to see or read my book. Because in my book, when I talk, I always talk about us.
Right. Not I.
Never I and me. You know
Sure.
what I mean? It's us.
Right.
We did it.
I love
That's very important to me.
very important in any business, I think. Anything that you're in and then you do, it's important. And I love that someone said about Penske's wins is said it's not a streak, it's a standard. I love that. I think
they strive for it. Well, and so does everybody else. But in the final moments, it is the second year now that Felipe Nasr, against the Cadillac, what was 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds advantage, and they fought for the last half hour,
right.
an hour.
Right.
And that's remarkable, the nerves in both cars, that's, and the drivers, that I have to give them credit, because it takes a lot of energy and it takes a lot of knowledge, like anything else. But drivers in their field, mechanics in that field, and what is very important, strategy in the other field. So there's a lot of things. And again, I come back to my thing, teamwork.
Well, you see that you see the strategy in all forms of motorsports, and particularly maybe more in Formula One, a lot of strategy. I mean, the tires and the whole thing, and just planning it all out, because you can get left kind of holding the bag and not be where you need to be you're at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what racing is all about. Has been, but like in the beginning strategy, we didn't do anything. We just race and go for it.
Right.
But in today's world, if you are not clever on strategy, you either miss super situations or things, or you get them and then you finish the race and yes, we did it. The good feeling.
Right. What are your thoughts on simulators? Do you they're obviously an important tool nowadays.
They are very important. They are very important because the simulators. Have you seen one of the new simulators?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I'm not talking about the self-driving simulators.
Right.
I'm talking about the professional ones.
Right.
It is amazing what these things can do and how close the driver gets to driving the real race car.
Right.
And they, of course, like anything else, like computer and electronics, they get better. And yes, to answer your question, I think a simulator is very important.
Sure. And you were just down in Florida, you'd mentioned before we went on, and you had a nice little award given to you at the RRDC. I imagine that was awfully a proud moment for you, having Bobby Rahal give you the Phil Hill Award at the Road Racing Drivers Club. I mean, just amazing. Really, really amazing. And hats off to you for that award.
That was more than special to me. I'm honored, and I tell you why. Because like the Road Racing Drivers Club is the oldest drivers or the place for drivers in the United States. It's and I knew about them, and the club, because you cannot just join; they have to invite you.
Right.
And I think about 7 or 8 years ago, they invited me as an honorary member because I'm not a driver. See, that's the thing. So I cannot say I'm a road racing driver.
Right.
I did everything else in racing, but driving. So, and that was already then. I was very happy about, and to be nominated for the Phil Hill Prize, because that is their biggest award, what they give in Daytona during our dinner meeting. And I was blown away when Bobby called me and said, we nominated you. I was, I think I was in Germany.
Right.
He called me in Germany in November. And yes, to answer your question, to get that reward meant a lot to me. And when I got the microphone in the first moment, I stumbled. I was so touched, like it was something I couldn't get the thought what I had in my brain, what I wanted to say, only half came out. And then I sat down with Lee Duffy, and then we started to get moving, and it was good.
Well, yeah, I mean,
very rewarding.
Well, that happens to me often as well too. I mean, you're in, heady company. I mean, the winners of that award, anywhere from Bobby Rahal, who you mentioned, Jack Roush, David Hobbs, Chip Ganassi, Scott Pruitt, Hurley Haywood, Peter Brock, Rick Mears, Bob Bondurant, Penske. I mean, the list it's a who's who of racing, and it had to be a great honor, I would imagine. The trophy is so cool. How did you get it home? Did you put it in your suitcase? What?
No, that's pretty heavy. And see, it's mirror related. You ever did that with mirrors?
Oh
It's
yeah.
the other way. No, it's really see the shark nose,
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Wow.
Yeah, it is.
That's got to have a prominent spot in your house, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, it will. So let me tell you. So we got off the front presentation,
Right.
and I had the hoof in my hand, and I was sitting on Bobby's table, and we know each other for a long time. So I said, Bobby, how I'm going to get it home? He said, it's difficult on an airplane, how? He said, it's no problem. I send it to you. And by the time I got home, he had sent it. So it was very, very nice on top of everything. Super.
Yeah. That's Bobby Rahal is a first-class guy. I mean, you talk about Penske and his organizational skills and his dealerships and teams. I mean, Bobby Rahal's cut from the same cloth. I gotta imagine.
That is absolutely correct. And unfortunately, his venue was BMW. It didn't turn out really the way I'm sure what Bobby had thought of,
Sure,
or had expected. But it's a European team is running now to America, so let's see how that's going to turn out. When Bobby, that's when we had a chance. I was sitting here with Mr. Durham here in my living room right now where I am with Mr. Durham, who was a board member at that time from Vasek, from
Right.
Porsche. And we were talking about it, and he asked me, he said, what teams are in the United States for our LMP2? When we started here, and I said, there are two teams, it's Rail Racing and Penske.
right.
And then he got both addresses, got both phone numbers for me, and then he met with Mr. Penske, and that sealed the deal. So I don't think that he ever talked to Bobby.
Right.
But Bobby was definitely for me on that on the list.
Sure.
Only two people.
And
Yeah.
you met And you met a lot of people with your company. Your shirt, I had mentioned earlier, I want that shirt. Your company, ANDIAL, which was a amalgamation of three names that were founders of the company, I guess. And, it was such a well-known company. I knew about that before I knew about a lot of things. That your company was, somehow you were out there in the spotlight more so than a lot of other companies that did what you did, whether racing parts or consumer OEM parts.
We did, and we had a perfect combination between Arnold Wagner, between Dieter Insenhofer, and myself, because Arnold did the office and the parts department. Dieter was very, very good on the street cars, and I learned the street cars a little bit, but then my expertise became racing. And in the beginning, Dieter would help me, but then ANDIAL grows so big that he had to take care on the street side, and I did the racing side.
Sure.
And it was a good combination. I tell you that, and we were very successful.
And
let me just say, how did we get the name ANDIAL? See, when the 935 started, that's how we start. RSR 935s, 962s,
right.
And on the cars, we always ask the people. He said, put our name on the row. I asked them, put the name on the car, in the front and on the sides. And what do we get you in return? We come to the racetracks free of charge and help you make sure that the cars are running. And that's what Dieter and Arnold did in the beginning.
How smart was that?
That went on through the 962s, 935s. That's when you look at today's 962 in a museum or on an exhibition, it always has still the names on it.
Sure, it absolutely does.
That was excellent.
And you guys worked with everybody: Bob Aiken, AJ Foyt, Dyson, Al Hobart, who always comes up. It was funny. He was from around where we are right here in Pennsylvania, and when we talk about racing, not just Porsche racing, but racing in general, Al Holbert's name invariably always comes up. He must have had such an impact on racing and all the different factions of that.
Yeah, Al Holbert had a big impact on myself, because when we met, he was just normal race car driver. He wasn't really Porsche's manager in the United States. First time I met him at the racetracks, and then later on when we built our 935L, where later on that long hack 935, I invited Al if he would drive with us in Riverside in 1981.
Wow.
And then that's in 1982, and that is how we really got to know each other. And I tell you, Al, special person. But the two of us, I would say for my personality, I'm here on the left side and not on the left side physically. On that side.
Gotcha.
Al was on the other side. And yet, like we looked at each other, and that was like we had a friendship already going for 20 years. And it developed really, really successfully on the business side. And we became close friends on the private side with the families. And his the success what we had together, again, there was the team with Derek Bell, with Al Anser, with Al. We were pretty dominant at that time in the IMSA days. What was very important to me, and that's I told it to Al because he gave me the complete engine program for the program. He said, you do what you have to do. We can just talk about it a little bit, but I trust you totally. Get moving what you think is necessary.
What a great relationship, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. But what I told him then is, look, Al, we have customers, and the customers need the same equipment what we need, what we get. But I explained it to the customers. Because, like Bruce Levin and Rob Dyson and the guys, they knew what they wanted, so you couldn't bullshit them. So what I went and I got with Al is the thing is, let's say an example, turbocharger. So we were kind of the development team. So, but like we want to have a different turbocharger for the 962, always 962 related. So, but how many turbochargers do you go to Garrett Air Research and say we buy? So 10, 2, 3, it's development. Okay. So that makes no sense to buy 10 or 20 to supply all the teams, and then that thing doesn't work out.
Right.
So what are you going to do? Or camshaft, it's the same thing.
Sure.
So, and that is something what I definitely had an agreement with we get it, we test it, we try it on the racetrack and maybe drive one race. But by the second race, we offered it already to the customers and said, do you want to buy it? It's a thing. It's up to you here. That's what we have. And that is why the relationship from ANDIAL and the customers, 962 customers, are still going on strong today.
Sure.
It is honesty and integrity, and that is what I like to do.
Well, that's a great way to do any kind of business. And also, you had an interesting customer. Another one of your customers was Preston Henn. I imagine there's a few stories about him that are floating around.
Oh yeah, Preston Henn was the counterpart from Al Holmwood. But Preston Henn had the southern Florida market under control with his swap shop.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit crazy, but, he spent the money. He did the things, and we had some. And again, he supplied or surrounded himself with very capable people.
Sure.
And like John Shapiro, I mean, a lot of good people. And that's why they were capable of also winning races. And they went to Le Mans, they went to Europe. So Preston Henn, yes, a very interesting guy.
Yeah, well said. So the new 935s are new, I say, 2019 when they built the Moby Dick. By the way, the name Moby Dick, where did that come from? Who came up with that?
That I believe either when Norbert Singer, from Weissach, built the 935 Moby Dick car, because it looked like it was a completely car made only for Le Mans. Because when you I don't know if I say the car was that and that, so did you see it? Do you have an idea how it looked like?
Yes.
It looked like a long hack from a 935.
Sure.
And somebody in Germany came up with the name Moby Dick.
And it stuck.
And and it's stuck.
And I gotta say that the liveries on the 935s maybe are the greatest liveries ever. I mean, Interscopes liveries and Brumos and the days of they just had some of the coolest looking. They were the coolest looking race cars I think that ever existed. And even I know they weren't purpose built, but they were certainly cool looking.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And that was the beginning, and then later on and today. But see, the cars were still painted.
Right.
They were not what we have today, it's so they tried really hard and the painters tried really hard to make it nice. And I agree with you. Always a good looking car.
Sure. Well, we could probably do this all day, but I know you've got things to do, and we really appreciate you getting up early and coming on the show with us. I've got always one last question I like to ask people, and that's
please.
What's in your garage?
What's in my garage? It's interesting combination. I have a 911 ST.
Oh,
special car.
Yes, very special car.
On one side, and on the other side, I have a Genesis G80.
You're a practical man too, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm very, very satisfied with both cars. Obviously,
I would imagine so. Well, we certainly enjoyed this, Alwin, and so thankful that you were able to be on the show with us. And I got plenty of notes. We can do it again if you're ever available. We'd love to have you on again and continue our conversation.
I'll tell you, anytime you want to, because this year, that's for an end, I cut down the professional attendance of races.
Sure.
Because I'm going to be 83 on the 8th of February.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I want to spend a little bit of time with my wife and my two kids and my two grandkids. So the family is now this year a little bit more in the foreground. And I'm just going to go to Long Beach. I'm going to go to Laguna. And I'm going to go to Elkhart Lake because that's my favorite racetrack.
Absolutely. Will there be a Rennsport reunion this year, or no? It's not till 28, right?
No.
28.
Money.
I understand. Absolutely.
So that will take some time, but it will come. But coming back to your offer, if you want to talk again, I mean, we have enough things to talk about, and I think it's interesting for a lot of people. They want to see what the people say, and then let me know, and I'm available anytime. With you? Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Alwin Springer.
Thank you to the guys in the background who I don't see.
They're doing a great job. They're unsung heroes back here.
Exactly. See what I said before.
I'm with you. It's a team right here. It's not just this pretty face. It's not just this pretty face. So
Yeah, exactly.
Take care, Alwin. Have a great day.
Good one. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Whether you want to buy or sell a classic, collectible, or special interest vehicle, you need to visit the Classic Auto Mall website for more information. If you're looking to buy, you can easily search our inventory of more than 1,000 vehicles on the web at classicautomall.com.
And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall show from the Classic Auto Mall studio in Morgantown, Pennsylvania. Man, oh man, the stories that guy could tell.
Yeah.
Thick accent, man. That German accent did not go. It's like moving from the South, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't go away.
Some people don't. When I moved to L.A. from the South, my accent did kind of go away a little bit.
Probably.
And then I would find I would embellish it sometimes just for the effect. You know?
Yeah.
Like I'll have a Jack Daniels and water, and they'd say, and what? Water? What is water?
That one for the lady.
One for the lady.
Better than water.
Water.
Because I can't get away from that.
Yeah, you can't get away from that because of wherever you're from.
That's right.
So, speaking of that, I'm trying to find my list. You know, I need people to keep my list together.
Please do.
I don't know where
There's no I in team.
except in the middle of the a-hole. Okay, I guess we didn't sell cars anywhere. If I don't.
Oh, no.
Else, so.
Well, there must be
No.
something about the car business that keeps you young, because everybody we've had on, they never look their age.
I mean, he's going to be 83 in a couple of weeks.
That's amazing.
And fantastic.
We're in the right business.
Yeah, exactly. So, cars we sold the past week.
I'm late on the think music, but yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cars we sold this week: Fountainville, Pennsylvania; Doral, Florida; Newport, Pennsylvania; Dampierre-le-Château, France;
I saw that.
Pittsgrove, New Jersey, Fort Calhoun, Nebraska, Windsor Locks, Connecticut, Levittown, Pennsylvania, Wellington, Florida, Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, Gibson, Georgia, White House Station, New Jersey, and North Woodstock, New Hampshire. That's a long name, isn't it? And it was a little slow week because, we got a bunch of snow.
Everybody did.
11 inches of snow we got here. Yeah. And they have, and then the week before we had 5 inches. So we've got piles that, like I said, they'll be here till July.
But remember, there are parts of the world that didn't get any snow, and that's we get people inquire from all over the world, not just the country.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, that's when people say, "Oh, I can't sell my convertible. It's wintertime." Well, it ain't wintertime in Florida, baby.
That's right. Always sunny.
It's always sunny in Florida. So, but it's funny that used to be the thing. We still get that myth about like 4-wheel drive trucks. Oh, I can't sell that till fall. Right before winter is when you sell a 4-wheel drive truck. That's not the case anymore at all. People drive 4-wheel drive stuff every day.
And occasionally we get a truck in with a what do you call it? Plow, like
plow.
JR acquired the other day if we had any. It sells right away.
Man, that thing didn't last long at all. Somebody knew there was snow coming.
That's right.
I'd like to meet that guy.
Good to have one of those.
Exactly.
Paid for half of it already.
So new arrivals this week. How about the 1970 Chevrolet Nova SS Tribute?
Yes.
Cranberry red over black. Got a 383 stroker. Aluminum heads, aluminium, as they say over the pond. Holly Sniper EFI, which are so cool. You just bolt and go, right?
Well, it's not. I mean, not quite that easy.
Kind of like me. I'm very, very simplistic.
They got to be tuned in.
Oh yeah, but they've got a computer and all that stuff. So, Tremec 5-speed manual, Moser 9-inch 370 posi axle. This Nova might be splendid, you might say.
It might be splendid.
How about the 1937 Hudson Custom Series 77 Country Club Touring Sedan?
Beauty.
Man, royal maroon over light brown. Known history from new. A very long-term ownership. The guy who owned it has owned it for probably 30-something years. And it's got the inline 8 and 3-speed manual. This thing is just stately.
Beautiful car.
Beautiful car.
I looked it up and I don't remember writing it, so I had to reread.
Right.
And it is a stunning car, and it's collector grade.
So you just get into that focus, right? Where you're just writing.
I write it and then on to the next one.
Way out of your head. So
beauty.
Next is the 1921 Rauch-Lang C55 double control coach. Now, guess what this car is? From 1921. Why, it's an electric car.
That's right.
How cool is that? People go, well, there was no electric cars back in the 1900s. Well, yes, there were. There were quite a few of them back then, especially were important, and they used them in big cities.
Right.
Which is what makes sense for an electric car, as long as you're not far from wherever it is
they probably had a very
home base.
Very low range.
Yeah, I mean, 5 miles maybe.
But you had to be wealthy to have
Yeah, because you had to have a whole kind of panel that goes to your house that plugged in, and it looked like it was this weird... Have you ever seen those?
No, the old ones. The
old style ones. They're this weird looking panel with all these resistors and things and brass pieces and kind of cool though. But anyway, this is black over floral print and red. The interior is quite interesting.
Dramatic
on this car. Rarer than rare. Early Americana electric car. 48 volt electrics. It's just nicely preserved too. It's just a neat old car.
It is really.
It's in our main showroom if you get a chance. If you're here, and if you're not, classicautomall.com is our website, and we'd love for you to check out all these. How about another new arrival, the 1969 Volkswagen Type 2 bus. Savannah beige over brown and beige, so it's very neutral in color. Another long-term ownership vehicle, the newer 1600cc flat 4-speed manual transmission, ready to roll, solid Type 2. I never forget my dad's girlfriend's daughters had a Volkswagen bus, and we drove from Salisbury to Ocean City, Maryland, and we went across this bridge, and it was really windy, and that thing was like, I thought
caught the wind,
like a sail.
It got skinny tires too.
Skinny tires, and that wind up on that bridge, it was a little nerve-wracking.
Is that the camper that's right out here?
No, it's
okay.
This is more of just a regular old bus.
Type 2 bus.
Type 2, yeah. Other new arrivals, the 1965 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe, charcoal gray metallic over black, Resto Mod, 350 cubic inch crate V8. Boy, we saw the Resto Mods at barret-jackson Corvettes coming out of the woodwork and bringing crazy money.
They do. They really do.
They defy logic in the amount of money that they bring for these cars because it's just one of those things that it's hot right now. People love those. They like the looks of the old car, but they like the modern conveniences and performance and air conditioning and all that good stuff. And we say it all the time. I wasn't always a big fan of resto mods, but I understand them, and I'm more of a fan of them now because it'd be fun to own one.
Yeah.
A '67 Corvette that drove like a new car.
Exactly.
Because
'65 Corvettes, the way they look great.
They didn't drive so great.
People don't love how they drive.
Well, and especially with a 4-speed manual transmission, and that just is, as we say all the time, it's begging for a fifth gear. Please give me a fifth gear. And last but not least, the 1971 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme convertible. I think we've got this one sold, or I think it's going overseas. Lime over white, Survivor Cutlass, numbers matching 350 cubic inch, 4-barrel V8, numbers matching turbo hydromatic 350, 12-bolt rear, power windows and brakes, and new upholstery. This thing, it will knock you over when you see it. You can't stop looking at it. Mm-hmm. It's just an amazing looking car, and one of those ones that really catches your attention, and I imagine it'll do well over in Europe, wherever it happens to be going.
Absolutely.
And if it doesn't go, check it out now on ClassicAutomall.com.
Absolutely. So we've gone through the winter auction season with Mecum and their 4,000 plus cars, and barret-jackson 2,000 cars, and RM and all the other guys. And I can say the hobby's alive and well. I'm not worried. You keep hearing tales of doom and gloom, and that the hobby's going to go away, and people aren't going to continue. And these young kids at Barrett-Jackson watching it on TV, they're spending. They must be YouTubers or something.
New money, they say, yeah.
Nouveau riche.
Nouveau riche, yeah.
I mean, I never saw as many younger, and I'm talking about early 20s. Mm-hmm. They look early 20s. They're probably in their 40s, and I'm so old that they look young.
That's right.
In their 40s. Right?
Suddenly 40's young.
Suddenly 40 feels different than the 20s. But no, these kids look like they're in their early to mid 20s, and they're spending $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, whatever. Yeah. So we see that at the computer store down the street, that Micro Center, where you see a kid walk in and buy a hard drive, and it's like $5,000.
Really? Yeah.
Whips out a
card,
titanium American Express card. So
I got a thing from Micro Center that said, "Oh, this such and such AMD processor or something, $595," and I'm thinking, "Oh, computer, laptop, that's not bad. Look, it's just a little chip." I'm like, "What?"
Exactly. So when we return, we will have our weekly conversation with Mr. Keith Martin, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
The Classic Auto Mall has more than 1,000 vehicles for consignment in our huge 8-acre climate-controlled showroom. It's a real indoor mall. If you'd like to know all the advantages of buying and selling a car through consignment, the information is available on our website, or you can talk to a classic car specialist who can answer all your questions. It's easy, safe, convenient, and it doesn't matter where you are. We sell worldwide. See our huge selection of classic and collectible vehicles at ClassicAutomall.com.
And we're back with the Classic Auto Mall show from the Classic Auto Mall studio in snowy Morgantown, PA. Well, it's going to melt one of these years. I'm certain of that. Joining us via Zoom, Mr. Keith Martin, publisher of Sports Car Market Magazine. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and I am excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you on. How about the auctions? We're going crazy in Scottsdale and Mecum down in Kissimmee. And if somebody says the hobby's in trouble, I didn't certainly see it with all of what was going on. Man.
I agree 100%. I mean, all the prices were like, is that for two of them?
Yeah, there's a Lincoln Continental that's over $1 million. It should have been for about 10 of them, I think. But
did you see the guy talking about that car?
Yeah, it's crazy.
In the interview, he talked about he saw the car for sale for what, $80,000 or something,
and put a new interior in it. I think is all he did, or something. And and there's a lot of scuttlebutt about the guy overpaid for it, and he paid this, and I don't know if you want something bad enough, and two people want something bad enough, you pay whatever it is you pay to get it. If it's what you want.
Sure, I have an insider secret for you.
Oh, I like this.
The guy did not use food stamps to buy that car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to him. And it was a young kid who bought. I mean, that was the one thing that I took away from especially from Barrett. You saw that there was a lot of younger, I guess, YouTubers, for lack of a better term, or kids who've made money that you aren't necessarily familiar with, and they've done amazingly well, and they're buying cars that they like, and they happen to like 65 Lincoln Continental suicide door convertibles.
Well, I think what's happening is that between the online auctions like Bring a Trailer and Cars and Bids, and the influencers like Vin Wiki and stuff like that,
right,
they have my son, who's 18, thrives on Bring a Trailer.
Sure.
That wouldn't have happened 10 years ago.
Right. He wouldn't have even cared about it.
Go to a land auction
Sure.
to see all this stuff. And now he's just tracking, and sending me things. Well, Dad, how about this one?
Right. Which is good. Now you got a second set of eyes checking out things for you that you may have missed if you didn't,
Car finder.
Yeah, you pay him flip him a finder's fee when he finds you something. So.
That's exactly right.
So goodbye V12 is this week's blog.
Goodbye V. Do you think I'm doing the right thing?
You love that car is the first thing I'm going to say. But the second thing I'm going to say is, and you even said this in your blog, you've used it for about everything that you bought it for. Every event that you wanted to use that car for, you've pretty much done it. Is there anything left on the list that you haven't done with that car?
10,000 miles I've put on that car.
Yeah. And the cost of ownership, you figured it out. It was like 69 cents a mile. That's the cheapest thing I've ever heard of.
Me too. The worst thing you can ever do, like if you race cars, is add up the cost of racing.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't ever want to know that number. And especially, you don't ever want to know that number on the calculator when your wife walks in and is looking over your shoulder and you go, what are you adding up? Oh, I'm just some random numbers.
Stewart, the magic of this car was that it was always owned by enthusiasts. The guy I bought it from, his dad was a NASA engineer, and so was the guy who owned it, from like birth on.
Right.
Always been a good car and a working car. Everything, the choke levers, the clock, everything works. So it's been like, I don't know how to say it exactly, but it's been a good, honest car.
Right.
And it's the kind of, some cars won't stay fixed.
Right. Yeah. We've had plenty of those. Well, this one had 22,000 miles when you bought it. You bought it in what, 2000? How long? 2000. When did you buy this? 2020? No, not 2025. 2020.
Yeah.
Wow. That's that's long-term ownership for you, right?
For me, it is, but also. The big surprise for me is I've had a fair number of E-types, and this is not a sports car.
Right.
This is a derivative of their Formula One motor in it.
Right.
And this is a 90 mile an hour AC cranked up, burn across the desert car. Right. I mean, it's just a high speed cruiser.
Yeah, people have a tendency to mislabel the E-type, especially the coupes, as just kind of a touring car, or not. But it is a high performance car, especially in this era for a car out of Europe. American made cars were starting on the downhill slide of performance then, but this was powerful for a European car.
Well, and it's a 71, which had the least smog regulations on it.
Right.
It was the most powerful.
Right. And of course,
it had little dainty bumpers on it.
Right. Not like the 73 and 74. Those would not have been called dainty.
No, you couldn't even open the hood all the way on the 73s and 4s.
Isn't that the truth?
That bumper protrusion hits the ground.
Yeah. And for some reason, I still think they're kind of cool. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I guess there was something that happened in my lifetime that I saw that something cool was associated with it. And therefore, I think that car's cool, even though it has the goofy bumpers.
Well, when you step back and look at that car, the fact that the radiator opening is so big and it's got those big flares on it, it gives it a more powerful look than you would think.
Absolutely. So when you're putting the Jag on Bring a Trailer, right? So that'll go on.
And Stewart, I really believe in putting cars on at no reserve.
Sure, absolutely.
Because it's a one-way trip.
Yeah. Well, that's always been our conundrum here, that we have cars on consignment, so putting them on no reserve is, we take a risk that we've got an unhappy customer. Yeah. So, but you're exactly right. To sell any of these cars on any of these online platforms, in my opinion, you really should put them on no reserve. That is the best opportunity for them to sell and bring the most money.
Well, and whatever they bring, it's what they're going to bring.
Right. It's worth what they're worth.
Market that day.
And it doesn't matter what you paid for it.
No, listen, and also once you decide to sell a car, then you can't drive it anymore.
No, because you'll find a reason to keep it.
You're scared to death of some door ding or something, because the car's just waiting. Car said, "Oh, so you're going to sell me no reserve, huh? I think I'll blow my oil lines."
Just because I can.
Just because I feel like it.
That's because I feel like it. So what will you replace it with?
I bought a 911 C4S.
There you go.
2005. So it's got the turbo body, turbo suspension.
All-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive.
Yeah, great car.
I've driven a few of them. I paid 33 grand for it on Bring a Trailer from a dealer that was in Seattle, so I could have my son go up on the train and bring it back.
Close enough.
That's part of the problem with buying online is, are you buying a $3,000 tow bill when you buy the car?
Oh, that's right. We have people who buy stuff, and I'm always surprised sometimes that are on, like in Seattle or up in your part of the world or on the West Coast, and they're buying a $5,000 or $6,000 car, and you think, man, that shipping bill is going to be half of that to get it out there. I mean, happy that we sold it to them, and happy that you found it at our place, and you're happy with your car, but you couldn't have found one a little closer, possibly,
Well, you don't find ones that are closer until you've already bought the one. And then the minute you've bought it, then they pop up like next door.
Well, we have to have a new category. Instead of Murphy's Law, it'll be Martin's Law. And so we'll come up with all these little things that we do in car world, that you can't drive your car once you offer it for sale for two reasons. Number one, it'll break. And number two, you'll realize you love it and you don't want to sell it.
I agree. I also think the reason I bought this 911, this modern car, well, it's 20 years old, but It's a modern car.
It's a modern car. That's a hard thing for people to understand. You see on a late model, like a 2002 Corvette or a 2005 Mustang, it looks like a new car, but it's 20 something plus years old. And this car that you bought has 70,000 miles on it. So it's not like it just got used sparingly. It was driven.
Well, but it's a cream puff car.
Right, exactly. And well maintained and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know about the IMS bearing, but that's one of those things where you almost have to buy the car, get it to your shop, have them drop the tranny and say, okay, now what do we have here?
Yeah, we either got one that's good or we got one that's not good.
Yeah, and it's just part of the price of going into a 996.
If you don't buy any older car without an extra little bit of money in the bank, then you're making a huge mistake. You need to have a little extra money because there's always going to be something. And every car has its one or two little things that you got to look out for. There's certain ones that have a leaky rear end. There's certain cars that have a, this or that. And you always got to be prepared for that. And if you're not, it's going to be a less enjoyable experience.
Well, the by now, because the car is 20 years old, any good shop will say, well, the weak points on this car are.
Right. Yeah. They rust here. They do this. They do that. They don't do this. They don't do that. But I think that, the 996 is an overlooked car. I mean, people, for many, many years overlooked that and said, oh, it's got the Boxster headlights and all that. And it's got this and got that. And,
Sure. You know what I tell people when they say that?
What?
I can't see the headlights when I'm driving.
That's what a guy told me when he bought a 4-door Oldsmobile 98. I said, you didn't want a 2-door or a convertible? He said, they all look the same when I'm in the driver's seat. So that's very true. So
I wanted a car that was easier to I've got a 75 911S, a G-body car, but no power steering, no power brakes, no AC. Yeah. I mean, it's work. It's not a summertime car.
It's work. It's work to drive that thing, and you better make a commitment. You better feel on your A game when you're driving that, because it's just not. It's not point and shoot like a lot of these newer looking cars are. And there's nothing wrong with having a car that has both attributes: ones that are difficult to drive and require muscle and effort and thought and planning ahead for braking and all that. And then there's nothing wrong with having one that just does all that for you.
I'm going to have Apple CarPlay put in the car.
Oh, there you go. Now you got music. You're set, man. All right. So we'll watch this on Bring a Trailer, and we'll hopefully discuss it next week or so. And then hopefully you'll get the result you're looking for.
Yeah. The whole thing, Stewart, with no reserve is you've just walked the plank.
And there's no turning back, pal.
There's a guy right behind you who's got the little knife that's just poking you in the back.
That won't really hurt you, but just enough to irritate you, right?
Well, I had a Citroen that I paid $74 and I got $100 for, which I thought was skill, and it was dumb luck.
Well, on that note, the dumb luck version of the Classic Auto Mall show, we will be back next week with another fantastic guest, and we'll have Keith Martin on again as well. Keith, we'll see you next week. Have a great week.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
We've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/testdrive6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden, executive producer, Steve Sethier, produced and engineered by yours truly, J.R. Russ, video editor, Randy Lammy.
Available on ClassicAutomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Music courtesy of the Pat Travers Band. For tour dates, contact, and stuff, visit PatTravers.com. Produced by Car Smarts Media. Copyright all rights reserved.